you guys were getting ready to play a game yesterday or the other day, and then obviously it got called off. I mean, is that you obviously knew that that was going to be a possibility this season, but once it finally happened, what did that feel like to go through that?
Um, I mean, it was out of so I was already on to the next one. Obviously, I was a little sad because I really wanted to play that night, but like I said, it was out of my hands, and something that we're expecting in this time. I just hope that everyone on that side is getting healthy, and if anybody interacted with whoever tested positive, I hope they're all getting healthy.
You got put on the what does that mean to you to have that honor?
What are you talking about?
The wooden award list. You were on
Oh,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It means a lot to me. I've received a lot of preseason like watch lists and whatnot. But every season I've got one goal, and that's to be best player I can be. Myself and my teammates. And I want to win this year. So I mean, all those watch lists and everything. That's great, and I really appreciate the recognition. But I'm here to win, here to get better, and here to make my teammates better.
Other questions? Okay. Tracy, go ahead.
Hey, Chris, you said you're out to be the best player you can be. How do you assess where you are coming off those two games? Like, what did you see from yourself that you did well? What do you see that you need to improve from the first two games of the season?
I feel like my first game was just a really bad start. There was a lot of things I needed to work on then. Like I said in the early interview, I needed to be more assertive, um, and be more aggressive and try to create more. I think I did a better job of that in the second game, as well as my rebounding. I did a lot better in that one. I had 12 more than I had in the first game. There's plenty more to work on. Neither of those two games were, the best that I have in store. So I've got a lot to work on. I can do a lot in pretty much every single area. So, but I mean, I guess I'm moving in the right direction, definitely from that first game.
Ben, go ahead.
One thing we didn't see much of in those first two games that you guys probably enjoyed was the quick hooks that Coach used last year. It doesn't seem to be as much of a thing this year. As a player, obviously, I think they were effective last year. But do you think it's a function of you guys kind of knowing what he wants and being better prepared to meet his expectations this season?
You said what? What did we do last year that we weren't doing in the first two games?
Coach used to use those quick hooks where like somebody make a mistake, they'd be out of the game in 5 seconds, like a quick hook, like putting them on the bench. Not doing as much of that.
Well, I mean, he was, subbing people out for reasons. I mean, if he subs someone out every time, it's for a reason. So, if guys aren't getting snatched, it's obviously because he sees something else. I've got nothing to do with that, all the substitution. So, but I know, when I come out, it's for a reason, and when I go into the game, it's for a reason. So,
Tracy, go ahead.
Coach Cronin has said that he tends to be harder on his best player on the team. Would Do you think you've experienced that from him, and how do you feel about that?
oh man. Um, I mean, my dad always told me because he was my first coach. He always said, you know, when you should be when the coach isn't yelling at you or isn't, in your face all the time, that's when you should get scared. Because that means that he doesn't see any potential in you and doesn't see, doesn't feel like if he, yells at you, that'll make a difference. So I've definitely experienced that. I mean, pretty much everybody gets it equally. I guess I'm just a step or two above. But yeah, I want someone who's in my face every day trying to make me better because that can only do good things for me. So, yeah.
Tracy, go ahead.
So you got a little taste of what it's like playing without Jalen Hill. What does that do to your team? What's the dynamic like? How does it change you offensively and defensively, and actually with Johnny Juzang too?
Without Jalen, it's just a big post presence that we're missing on offense and defense. So for defense, it's just a lot more on ball defense. So you got to stay in front of your man. You can't really send them to much help. Without someone like Jay Hill down there. Obviously, you can with Cody as well, but we were doing that too much and got him into foul trouble. So, I mean, it's just a really big presence and also someone who's been around, and knows what to do and can tell other guys where to go. That's what we're missing with Jalen. And with, Johnny, I've yet to play with him in a game, but, I mean, I'm just ecstatic to do it. I can't wait till he gets back. But, without him, we're missing – another amazing shooter, someone on the same level as Jake, who can just shoot lights out any night. And also someone who can just create offense, easily, just comes easy to him. So, we're missing a lot with those two guys, but, we got to figure out ways to win without people, because that's what we're going to have to do, later on in the season, because things happen and they're out of your hands. So if we can't win without guys right now, then we can't expect to later on.
Just a couple more here for Chris. Ben, go ahead.
Just following up on what you were saying earlier about Coach kind of wanting the best out of you. You guys had some interesting exchanges on the during timeouts down in San Diego. I remember one time he said very loudly, "No." I have no idea what he was talking about. Well, what were some of the things that he was trying to get out of you that if you could remember in those games?
To be honest, I can't really remember. It's always on to the next play for me. But I'm sure he was just yelling at me for something I didn't do. A lot of times I stay stagnant off the ball. A big thing in the first game was offensive rebounding. Another thing is, when I drive, making sure that I'm looking, for the help and looking for my teammates. Lots of things, but I can't really remember or pinpoint anything because, like I said, it's always, on to the next play for me.
Hey, Jules, how big of a difference was it for you, comfort level, between that first game where you kind of struggled to score and then you career high in the second? How did you change just how comfortable you were, how much you were feeling it, the whole thing?
I would say there was a significant difference. I just tried. Like after I played the first game, I realized I was sort of playing afraid to make mistakes. And so I know that in order for, my team needs me. And I know that for the defense to open up and give other people lanes, they need to respect my game. So I needed to play more aggressive. So in the second game, I tried to come out more aggressive, attack my defenders. And then that way, other lanes would open up for my teammates and for myself. So just being more aggressive, trying to make plays and not trying to play sort of afraid to make mistakes. So that was sort of my mindset coming into the second game.
Ben, go ahead.
You guys played a lot of minutes in that second game, obviously. Was there, obviously I know you wanted to play the other night, but was there a silver lining that maybe you guys got a little bit extra rest after that 3 overtimes?
I mean, young players like us, we come from playing AAU games where we play sometimes 6 games in one day. So, we had a long game, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun, and we were excited to get the win, and we wanted to carry that momentum into the next game. Unfortunately, things didn't turn out the way we wanted it to. Unfortunate situations happened. So, we took it on the chin, but we were excited to play and we wanted to get on. Some of us stayed after and got on the court and played with each other. So we were excited to play. Unfortunately, it didn't go that way, but, we have a new opportunity on Thursday.
Tracy, go ahead.
You said you were playing like you were afraid of making mistakes. It kind of seemed like that's how the whole team started out last season. Why do you think that is? Why do you guys maybe start out that way and you need to get a little comfortable before you don't play that way?
I'm not sure. I feel like, when you first start the season, you want to start in such a way that you hit the ground running, and you want to start very well, and instead of having like rough patches in the beginning. So you're sort of in the back of your mind, you're sort of thinking, it's the beginning, we don't want to start off slow and making mistakes. So I think just like the excitement coming into the season, wanting to do well right away may play a part in that. I'm not sure, but luckily we got past that, and looking forward, I hope we sort of play more freely and more confidently.